Hi, welcome to Know It Olly, Eli12's Gamestop and ETFs. So, how are ETFs being used in relation to GameStop? If you don't know what an ETF is, I've made a video. Go take a quick look at it. It's not very long, and then come back here. It'll make more sense. So, we have in the market authorized participants. These authorized participants are large financial institutions. They can make and destroy ETFs at will, those bundles. So what goes on here? We're going to use an example of someone going into a supermarket. They go into the supermarket and buy a basket full of fruit. They take that basket, that is your bundle of ETFs. And for the entirety of this example, GameStop are the bananas. So someone goes and gets this bundle of stock or this bundle of fruit. They go out and they realize there's a price difference in the bundle and the individual fruit in the basket. So they'll buy a basket, they will go outside, and they can sell each piece of fruit for slightly more than what was actually paid for in the basket. This is the same as an authorized participant going into the market, buying an ETF or a bundle basket of stocks, and then selling the underlying stock individually. Sometimes there's a slight price difference, and you can scalp a couple of cents here and there, or a couple of dollars sometimes on different price differences between the ETF and the underlying stock. And the thing is, it goes the other way as well. Because they're an authorized participant, they can sell baskets back to the supermarket. So if all the fruit out there is really cheap because a big fruit truck just came into town, you can go into the public and you can gather all the fruit that would normally be in that basket. And then you can go to the supermarket who's paying slightly more than what you just paid for the individual parts, and you can make a small profit on top of that. And that's what an authorized participant does, is that they help to keep the price of the ETF level with the underlying by scalping those little differences in between to make sure that they never get too far out of balance. Now, where does this come into GameStop? When this person is going, or these companies are going out into the public to gather all those fruit, they're putting everything in the fruit basket except the banana. Then they're going to the supermarket and they are selling that basket to the supermarket as if there's a banana in there, with no intention to fetch a banana to place it into the basket. They have decided deliberately to sell into the market without having a banana inside the basket. What does that do? Well, when they were out in the public, they bought all the fruit. That slightly pushes the price of the fruit up because the supply is going down because you're buying it. You just pushed up the price just fractionally of every fruit except banana. And then you've sold it again back into the market. And so everything that's considered to be in the basket just got knocked down a fraction. So if it's an apple that you've just bought and then sold straight back in through the basket version, might have got a little bump, but then it dropped back down to neutral. But if you never bought the banana in the first place, it never got the bump up. It just sat neutral. But when you sold the basket to the supermarket, the price of bananas went down fractionally because there should be a banana in the basket. But they're deliberately not putting the banana back in the basket. Therefore, the banana stock price is going down and taking a hit based off of the buying and selling of all the other stock in the same baskets with it. I hope that made sense, because when we come into super stock, there is a significant amount of proof. So, Citadel is naked shorting ETFs containing GameStop to drive down the price. In the first drop in February, they shorted XRT. And in the past week, they have shorted the entire Russell 2000 because GameStop's in the Russell 2000. They did that same method I just explained. I would highly recommend, if you want a lesson, to go through this DD and try and get an idea, understand what's actually going on. This DD was brought out 10 months ago. So have a look at that. All of these DD posts, the links will be in the show notes, which can be found in the description. So 1 month ago, guess which ETF was 291% short? XRT. So I wanted to make sure of this, because this was only a month ago. So I came to the Wall Street Journal, and if we look into shares outstanding here, 7.85 million. Shares sold short, 22.17 million. 7 times 3 is 21. So yeah, we're just under 3x the number of shares sold short into the market as actually exist. This isn't a surprise. We've been seeing this for a while. You just have to go and look for it. So this one from only a couple of weeks ago, there have been a number of ETFs that contain GameStop that are having some pretty interesting moves happening in their underlying prices again. It's the first time they've really started to make some moves in the last few months. They've been a little bit quiet. However, a number of ETFs are hitting threshold lists, asking if there are more glitches going on because ETFs are not behaving the way that they should. This guy, 1 month ago, Livid Peach, he uses some math and a whole lot of links and some pretty good deductive reasoning to conclude that the shorts never closed in January simply by analyzing the ETFs. We've looked at the numbers for volume and all sorts of other things. The SEC report itself said they didn't close. However, this is just one more nail in the coffin that proves the underlying situation for the MOAS exists. It's there. And then this last one here that we'll have a look at, this is a really great post that goes into the complete compilation of existing market manipulation tactics. And if you just scroll down here, shorting through the ETFs, there's a video here that you should most definitely take a look at. That is this particular video here. This guy does a phenomenal job of explaining just how far-reaching this entire idea is, how much of an impact it has. It's a university lecture that is well worth your time getting into. I highly recommend it. So that's ETFs and GameStop. Effectively, market participants are pretending to build the bundles of stock that are ETFs, except they are deliberately excluding GameStop so that when they sell it into the market, it is operationally shorted, or it is shorted by proxy of the movement of all the other stocks. And yeah, this is just another way that they're doing it. And a lot of other ETFs are taking huge hits because of this. And it's highly illegal, shouldn't be done. We're watching it happen all the time. And it's absolutely insane that it continues to go on like this. I have nothing else to say because it's ridiculous, but it's happening. Know it, Olly out.